Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Today, inshallah, with episode number 4 of the ongoing series about political oppression and democracy, I want to answer the very important question which many Muslims have actually propagated against, and it is about what the Western countries want from the Muslim countries. Do they actually want democracy in the Muslim countries, or don't they want it? Many Muslims I have seen and I have known personally share this very well-known picture about Libya during the era of the tyrant Al-Qaddafi, and see how beautiful it is, how wonderful it is, and after he was removed from power, and they say here is the Western democracy. It's actually very common, this picture, and I've seen many times, and people share it because they think that by sharing it they are helping Islam. See, we are defending the Muslims which were oppressed by removing Al-Qaddafi. Subhanallah. So the Muslims in Libya, for example, I'm just taking Libya as one example, have either the Qaddafi regime, the oppressive Qaddafi regime, the political tyranny of the Qaddafi regime for 40 years, where no one had the ability to say an opinion, no one had the ability to go against him, no one had the ability to say his name. If you just said his name, he would hang you in a stadium in front of thousands of people, or remove him by military force, whether from inside, whether from outside, it doesn't matter. The idea is, if I am or was unsatisfied with Al-Qaddafi, I just have those two choices according to the people sharing those pictures. I have no idea why didn't they put a third option in the picture. Why isn't there the ability to remove Al-Qaddafi by voting against him? Why wasn't that possible? Why, if I see, let us just suppose the idea Al-Qaddafi was a thief. I saw him, or I have documents of him stealing money from the Muslims, or I saw him killing someone. How am I supposed to remove him from power and actually take him to court? Is it possible in any way to take that man to court, to tell him what you did should be punished? No, there's no possibility to do this. The only possibility is to go against him with arms. This is the only way to do it. And the funny part is, the people who share this picture actually do not live in a democracy, or they would prefer the people being under oppression as long as they're being fed, as if the Muslims, all they need from this life is to be fed, to be given water to drink, and reproduce. That's what we should do. If we have those, we should remain quiet. Subhanallah, where is the ability to speak? Where is the ability to say, if something is wrong, this is wrong, we need to change this? If I'm a poor person and I saw Al-Qaddafi walking on the street, and I told him, well, I think that you are doing a bad job running this country, what would happen to me? Have you ever thought of this? Do you know how the prisons of Al-Qaddafi were? Do you have any idea how the prisons of Mubarak were? Of Ben Ali? Of all those tyrants? Do you have any idea how the prisons of Saudi Arabia, of the United Arab Emirates, of Egypt are now? You have no idea. For you, you are just like a cow. You eat, drink, and reproduce, and that's it. You have nothing else in life to do. And the idea that the Western powers came to remove Gaddafi from power, actually, that was not the case. If you read the history, what happened at the time, the ordinary people went in peaceful demonstrations against al-Qaddafi during the Arab Spring, and it's the most beautiful thing what that happened in the Middle East for decades. Those morons who have no idea about those countries, who have never been there, who just hear from the news what they want to hear, think it's what do you call an Israeli made. No. Just look, don't discuss with those morons, okay? They're just morons. The people went against al-Qaddafi in peaceful demonstrations. What did he do? He killed them and imprisoned them. As simple as that. You know why? Because the people needed to tell the guy, you're stealing our money. You're living in poverty. They were living in poverty in one of the richest countries in the world, while al-Qaddafi has billions of dollars in all Western countries. So the question is, why do those Western countries want to remove him? Actually, they don't. But they have figured out that the people would one day be able to overtake this country full of oil, full of too many rich resources. So what did they do? They said, okay, we have yet now two choices. Do we let the people take over? That would be very dangerous. Why? Because if the people took over and the people were allowed to choose their leaders, then those leaders would be actually working for the people, for the interest of the people. But we don't want that. We want just one person to be able to control those people with prisons, with gunfire, with every way to oppress those people, and then you could just buy this guy. We could give him money, we get the oil as if we are buying it from the country, but we were buying it from him. We get for cheap prices, and he gets the money. He would take the money, then he would not be willing to put the money inside his own country, so he would put it in our countries. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly why Gaddafi had more than $70 billion in Western countries. So what they thought, okay, either the people would take over, then they would tell us, hello guys, you have money, we need it back please, this is our money. Or, okay, you know what? Al-Qaddafi is too strong for you. He has all the gunpowder. We gave it to him already. But we don't care. As long as we can control your government, we don't care about him. We will come and we will remove him. But you should be able to give us what we want. So the people said, no, we're fighting back. But the people were not able to remove him. So what did the countries do? They came anyways and removed him from power. Now we removed him from power. We will give you back the ability to choose the leaders, but be wise while choosing them. And when the Western countries say be wise, just choose someone who would give us what we want. So the Libyans did not choose the people who would give the Western countries what they want. So what did the Western countries do? What they normally do in such situations? They arranged a military coup through their dog, the United Arab Emirates, that's well known, and the actually smaller dog, Saudi Arabia. They brought someone who's also a military guy called Khalifa Haftar, and they give him money, mercenaries, every type of logistic and technological support, and the United Arab Emirates used to fly weapons to him in every way, shape and form, and he actually declared the coup, but the people resisted and resisted and resisted, the ordinary people in Libya, and they were able to stop him, but they were not able to take him out. You know why? Because he was getting all kind of support. Just imagine, like in Syria, you're fighting not only the tyrant, you're fighting the tyrant and 10 other countries who are helping him, and you're just alone. And of course, the Arab and Muslim countries, the other one, the tyrant one, what they do, they support the tyrant. They would not support the people, because again, if the people win, then those countries are in danger, because the ordinary people of those countries will say, okay, there is a possibility of change. Why don't we do that? Why don't we choose our leaders? Who said that MBS should be the vice or the next king of the United of the Saudi Arabia? Who said that MBZ should be the leader in this country? Are all the people just dumb, or did he inherit it like he inherits the people as his goats and sheep and cows? This is outrageous if you think about it. So the Western countries would not allow a democracy in the Muslim world. If the Western countries allowed a democracy in the Muslim world, their interests would be in danger, and they would never do that. They would never do that. They actually have. They would lose a lot. Why should they do that? For the people, they don't care about the people. Let us be honest. The US invaded Iraq and killed millions over a span of 20 or 30 years, even children. And this, what she's called Albright, what did she say? This is collateral damage, that children would die suffering from malnutrition. They don't care about the people. Let the people go to hell. We care about ourselves. That's crystal clear for everyone. The problem is the Muslims are actually not understanding that without them getting to power and being able to remove those tyrants, they would always remain in the humiliated state they are in now. They would always remain in this state, and they would never come out, except when they have the ability to remove those tyrants, choose the people, have different opinions, but at the end of the day, they are able to choose their leaders. That's it for today, inshallah, and we'll continue next time. And inshallah, I'll try to speak about the armies in those Muslim countries, and what is actually the roles, what's actually the role in those countries, and whether actually they're national armies, or what are they, or what are they made for? Inshallah, next time. I hope that you enjoyed this small speech, and inshallah we'll meet next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.